All right, good morning. Baseball must be dead because there's nobody there telling us we're late. And we're actually late this time. Every other time we're on the dot, and so let's say some prayers for baseball and his he was missed. Baseball YouTuber.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's missed or not, but we'll see.
We'll see you on the next time in the next life, wherever that shall lead us. So we got some wonderful hosts here, co-hosts. We got Steve and Contagious. So hopefully they haven't figured out how to transmit COVID through the screen, or we're all in trouble.
Oh, I'm not contagious. So only contagious is contagious.
Let's see if we can do this correctly. Come, Alaska is beautiful. Come visit Alaska. Oh wait a minute, we should do that.
I think staying off cruise ships right now is a good idea.
Uh, there's so many crowded places we were. Every time you got
Yeah.
on an elevator in the cruise ship, it was butt to belly. It was. And then the dirty dancing we did in the ballroom. Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing is they force you to do so many. I've never been on one, but from what I've seen, they force you to do so many things with other people that you wouldn't normally associate with, like dinners and all that kind of stuff. If you were somewhere like and hung out with just like the regular group of people or whatever, I think your chances, because you would know the people you're around, and if one of them said, "Hey, I'm not feeling great," you would know.
Yeah,
Hey,
there was 4,000 passengers plus crew on the cruise.
It's like it's all recirculated air, and yeah,
yeah, it's like being on a plane. I mean, with the recirculated air.
I've been on a plane since then, but your chances are a lot. There's a lot less people on an airplane than there is on a cruise ship.
Now, I flew in the middle of. I didn't get it. I think I had it once. I never tested because I don't want to be a statistic for these folks. Uh,
Fortunately, I didn't have it real bad until we started coming home. So vacation went well.
Good.
Got to see some whales and took a narrow gauge railroad.
and if I want to see some whales, I go to Walmart. Isn't it a lot cheaper?
I want to see some attractive whales.
That's what I should do. That's my new since eBay is floundering and Amazon's return policy is terrible. Maybe I should just start carrying some 3X with me every time I go to Walmart, and just try that person to person sales for because
You could be like me, sit out in the parking lot of Walmart every day, except you just open your door, have a sign out, big girls' panties.
yeah, give me a trench coat and be able to. This is what you need, darling. What size? 2X, 3X. Come on.
There are some interesting people who shop at Walmart. Some of them are very large, some of them aren't.
U-Haul, thank you for reminding me that we lost at home. You realize that's only like the third time we've lost in the last 7 years at home. So right now, well, you got 1 minute. Anything after this 1 minute, it is now 8:06. Anything after 8:07, I'll just start putting you in timeouts or eventually blocking you from the channel. Um, there's only one person here who's got permission. I fuck with Ron all the time. Me and Ron go back and forth. I personally know Ron. Ron's got my phone number. We'll call each other back and forth. Other than that, you're just fair weather fans. You're just piling on. You're just being assholes because I don't sit here dance and scream and holler whenever we kick your ass all the time. So you got 1 minute. Anything after that is done. Okay, RG, you can fuck around because I fuck with you all the time. Those are the only two people that got it. Other than that, nobody else. Uh,
I'm not even allowed.
no, he's not
It
allowed.
wouldn't mean anything because I have no clue. I don't do college football or baseball or basketball.
Now, if you want to talk about football, talk about something that really matters. The fact that the World Cup is coming to the U.S., and that's the other kind of football. and they are every stadium they are tearing up the turf to put in grass because that's what they mandate. The Jets just took a $50 million loss because of turf because the turf caught Aaron Rodgers' cleat and ripped up his Achilles. The people who run football could give a shit less about you, no matter who you are, because they put you on that godforsaken turf. You want to talk?
It's Purdy. They just put a turf. One of the bigger stadiums here in my area. They just put a turf field down, high school stadium, and boy is it Purdy. But there's always injuries associated with turf over grass or grass over turf.
And this is the last year it truly matters in college football because with a 12-team playoff coming next year, you will be able to get into the playoffs much easier. This is the last year of the 4 teams, but it's you look forward to all the shenanigans with Aaron Rodgers. He plays up the offseason, he plays up his worth. They got 3 plays out of him. 3 plays. I watched it when he limped off. I'm like, that didn't look like anything. What's he doing sitting down? And then you watch it again and they've got one angle where you can see that the back of that foot catch, and they're like, that could be an Achilles. Yeah, it's awful.
It was Achilles?
Yeah, he tore his Achilles. He's out for the year. It's Javis. It's to the point where I haven't even watched. I have all the people that I normally watched. I haven't watched anything about college football since Saturday night. Nothing. It's just absolutely. When you can see something coming, when you see the quarterback that I understand that we've got the greatest coach to ever live, and he chose this quarterback. But when you can see that he can't read a defense, and Texas comes in there, don't get me wrong. Texas is very good this year. They are probably one of the better rosters that we're going to face this year. That includes LSU, Tennessee, all of them. Texas is tough, and you start disguising. You got a quarterback that can't read defenses, and you disguise defenses. That's a recipe for disaster. That is exactly what we got. He showed us against A&M last year that he will throw the ball and give the ball away. What did he do in his first real start this year? Threw and gave the ball away. Shouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of rumors going around that he won't start this next one, but I hope so. I wouldn't want to be USF this weekend. That's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Amy Lee, good morning.
Boy, the Dallas Cowboys played good defense Sunday. Jeez.
That was. I watched some pro teams, and there are a few of them that I'm impressed with. You can give Dallas a lot of grief, but for the last few years. But if that's the Dallas team that's this year, they to me they were the best looking team I saw this weekend.
I mean, they may not score a lot of points, but God, that defense just smothers, kills.
Oh my God, they're fast. That defense is lightning quick. And I'm not a Cowboys fan. I don't like the Cowboys. When I was growing up in the 70s, you were either a Cowboys fan or a Steelers fan.
Pretty much, they're all in young, healthy condition.
I was too close to Pittsburgh, so you know what I had to be back then.
I was always a Steelers fan. Oh my God, if you're a Steelers fan and you saw what happened Sunday, you got to be sad.
I don't watch it anymore.
They got hammered this weekend. All right, so that's enough about football. We're talking about Cassini today.
I went to the Cassini once. I lost all my money.
Yeah, and it looks like we're all going to lose all our money if they don't fix this Cassini. So the question I've got for you, are the changes improving or killing eBay on Cassini? Very interesting as the third quarter comes to an end and they come out with a third quarter call. It'll be very interesting to see, where eBay sales are as a company and where they're everything. Remember, last quarter, their revenues are up because they took more money from us. I don't think it's an accident that if you promote, and I do promote my listings, you can promote at 1%, and then last year they go, oh wait a minute, the minimum is 2, and now if you go, well, I want to promote at the average, I don't see an average less than 9, and that's a big jump from 2 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
How do you increase your bottom line? Do you do you market better? Do you understand that your marketing actually sucks, and the only thing you're advertising is eBay Motors? That's the only commercials I ever see with eBay or eBay
Yeah.
Motors.
And it's
You
the
got.
same commercial all the time.
I am 54 years old. I am Gen X. Uh, if you go to the generations before me, vast majority of them have no clue what eBay is. Could we have a marketing campaign that actually targets customers? So let me help me explain this, and I'm just going to go on an eBay rant right now. So eBay was always started as sell anything. It's like a yard sale flea market on the internet. It was wildly popular with auctions. So what do? You try to you put buy it nows and try to eliminate auctions. You do everything you can to attract these big sellers that sell all new merchandise and none. I guess you take for granted the fact that your regular sellers are here to the point that you step on their throats with your search engines, um, and now we've got generations behind us. These young people are more interested in experience. They're more environmentally conscious, whether that's good or bad. Um, but you're not taking advantage of the fact that they would buy used over new if you would focus it and go, you know, the generation that likes recycle, the generation that wants to use something that's new, you know, if you would take that approach to the younger generation, you'd be amazed how many younger generation would go, you know what, I can buy a used item and do this for the environment. If you push it right, you could push sales through the younger generation and get them to know who eBay is. But we're just doing eBay Motors. eBay Motors. That's all we see. It's just you know. I think didn't they put a commercial on the Super Bowl last year? But it really didn't do. You know, do the younger generations even watch the Super Bowl? Or is that an older generation thing? I mean, I know young men watch it, but
Yeah, you got a point there. If they were to push environmentally friendly because you're upcycling, use a term. I don't know if they use terms upcycling anymore, but use terms that the younger generation is familiar with, and they could have a huger, a bigger, way bigger part of the market.
yeah, backyard mowing. Josh is. So if you're not watching Josh, he is. Can somebody throw his Josh's link in the channel? He didn't have a show yesterday, but he'll have one today. Josh Galt. Um, so his show Monday was very important. So go back and watch that. He had some messages back and forth with someone who used to work for eBay, who has really done a deep dive on Cassini and how your listings and how they rank your listings and all those things and how things are changing. It's absolutely amazing. Um, all right, see you, Felix. You are now in timeout. You don't listen. You don't think I'll do it. You need to sit back and think about the errors in your ways. There you go. Because if you're just gonna come in here and be a douchebag, you can wait till tomorrow and be a douchebag on Tom's channel. There you go.
It's only 300 seconds.
Yeah, then it gets progressively worse. 300 seconds is your warning. Uh, this is not New York City. I'm not going to let you out of jail and that kind of stuff. You have 4 or 5 different times where you screw around. That we're not doing all that. Y'all know I'm not a Democrat. Second time is permanent. Don't care. Um, Backyard Josh does a daily show. He does Monday through Friday, most Monday through Friday. Most weeks he might miss a day here or there. You got to understand, the young man has custody of his kids, and running a business and sourcing and doing all the things he does. There'll be a day or two a week that he just can't be there. But a lot of big sellers in that, a lot of good sellers, a lot of good questions, and it truly but it's very interesting just listening to how the person explained to him how they're ranking, and the biggest thing they want over anything else is sell-through rate, which is you can't. The problem with doing something like that is if you make it for every. I'm of the opinion that Cassini should have multiple variations. Cassini should have, because you can't sell vintage items and put vintage items and new items against it and on the same metrics and think the your rate of sales is going to be the same. You know, if you're a postcard seller, you'll sell a lot of postcards, but it's a numbers game. You need thousands of postcards up to have decent sales, but it's not the same as what do I have it right here? This half-assed new. Okay, Ozark Trail. These cups are wildly popular. They are cheaper. They are very similar to Yeti cups, except they are a third of the price. They sell with great frequency. It's not the same as selling a postcard. Not everybody wants a postcard. Amy Lee, Josh Galt. Did somebody put the channel up?
Yeah, Craig.
Yeah, Mace's. Man, Craig, don't mess with me with the channel change. I'm like, who the hell is Mace's Technology, and why did I make them a moderator? That's Craig. I still ask the same questions about, who was Craig and why did I do that, but
yeah.
But it's so everything can't be judged equal to the point that you're screwing with search. I can't be the only one. I mean, all of us are resellers. How many of you guys sell on eBay? I'd be interested to see, because I've always been content on Amazon, a ton of content, but I've switched more to eBay, but just because that's what I love, and that's what I want to find the things that they used to sell on eBay. So I'm actually running. My goal is 50-50 on the platforms. If I could do 50-50, that would be great. But I'm out, and if I'm out at a yard sale, I type something in, whatever it is, I'll put a model number in, and I'll get the craziest shit. I'll get all kinds of shirts and all kinds of returns, and I'm like, in order to make search work, that's the problem with Amazon. Amazon search is hoard out. The more you pay for pay-per-clicks, the higher up the search you are, or manipulate reviews. And so when you search for something on Amazon, go search for a camera. Go search for this camera right here. It's an Sony. It's an RX100 Mark VI. Just put in Sony. Just put in Sony RX100. And see how many batteries and how many other crazy off-brand shit you get before you find a camera. Even if you
no,
and
he sneezed.
Yeah, I'm glad that didn't get me. Whew.
Oh, sorry.
So a printer is a great example. I've been looking up a printer to see if a printer is worth my time. I sell 2 or 3 printers a week. I sold one yesterday. So I buy the ink. So I want to look up the printer. Look up a printer on Amazon and see how much ink you got to, how many generic, all kinds of bastard ink you got to go through to actually find the printer. Even if you put the word printer behind it, it's hard as hell to find it on Amazon. eBay's strength used to be, if I search for something, I can find it.
Even when you're looking for car parts, talking about eBay Motors, good luck.
Unless you put in your specific vehicle,
yeah,
it's crazy.
It's even harder to. Let's say I was looking for an actual car on eBay. Try to look for 1970 Volkswagen. That's what I'd be looking for. Try to look for that. Guess what you're going to get? Parts listings and all accessory listings. Before you actually get to a car, it's probably going to be 3 or 4 pages sometimes.
It's frustrating. You can go back and look at some older shows. It wasn't 6 months ago that I would tell you the strength of eBay over Amazon is their search. You can find what you're looking for on eBay. You put it in search, you can find it. That is gone. That is, and now they're rolling out the new type of pay-per-click where you can purchase spots on somebody else's listings or whatever that is. It's
There's going to be people out there who are going to take advantage of that
we
and
need we
drive
need
you into the ground.
Amazon need, I mean eBay needs some kind of they need some kind of committee of sellers that they bounce stuff off of, that they talk about, that because when you've got venture capitalists in up there that are running this place, I don't think anybody on eBay hardly sells on eBay. I don't. I'd be willing to bet there's a ton of people that work for eBay and never even bought anything off eBay. And
DoorDash implemented a thing where all their executives, all their employees, actual employees in the office, have to do DoorDash. They have to do it, and that gives them a better understanding of how the platform works. eBay used to be that way. I don't know if they required it, but a lot of eBay executives actually sold on eBay. But nowadays, because it's all venture capitalists and shit like that, I doubt it. And that should be a requirement. At least sell one thing a month or list one thing a month just to get a feel for the platform. Our accountant lists on Amazon and eBay just because he needs to get a feel for how the platforms work. And he's not even he didn't have to do that, but he
right.
does. Or did. I don't know if he still does, but he understands where we're coming from. It just makes sense. But they won't.
It's truly the part where they're now selling space on your listing. I don't think they understand that in order to make it, they're making it harder to list. They're making it where if you don't have the certain item specifics, that's a ding against the rating of so I've got this listing, and I've got to, in order to be maximized for eBay, I've got to hit all these different. So I have to take the time to make sure I've got as much information as possible. So if you're making a good listing, a couple of minutes by the time you've taken the pictures and put everything up, you've got a couple of 3, 4, 5 minutes per listing. And don't get me wrong, I know you can list 100, you can list way faster than that. But if you're go back and watch Josh's show and understand what eBay is looking for in their listings, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. They're ranking your listing, and the less information you have on the listing, the lower it ranks, the less they're going to show it. How many times you find list an item and go, I can't find it in the search. It's because eBay has determined it's a crap listing. I mean, I'm not saying anything about your ability to list. I'm just saying they have determined it based on the rules that they have for grading a listing, that you're the way you list. So the one thing I can tell you to help yourselves is you got to spend more time on your listing. You've got to better titles, better pictures. If you want to grow your toenails out, maybe don't put them on an eBay listing. You think eBay can go and can penalize listings that show boobs? Don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-boob. I'm not anti-boob, but that's half of us don't have that equipment. I did a picture. If y'all want to see me with a bra on, I'll show you.
I've seen it. Nobody wants to see it. It may just pop up on this show in the future, but I'm not. No, I don't want to see it.
But so the more items you can get in listings, the higher and so my whole point with this is, if I'm spending extra time to perfect listings and make my listings so they'll be moved up in search and better and more attractive for listers, I'm doing everything eBay wants. Don't sell my goddamn listing to somebody else in my competition. All they have to do is click and go, add mine to it.
Yeah, there's going to be people that learn how to manipulate that system. Our friend John would learn how to manipulate that system, wouldn't he? So that his shows up on yours.
I mean, not only are you stepping on my throat when they do that, you're kicking me in the sack at the same time. You got one foot on my throat and the other foot right in the sack. And I'm wondering, I just spent all this extra time on this listing. I'm doing everything that eBay wants me to do to make the listing better, to make it where they want to put it in the search. It's optimized for Google, all these things. And I've got my bastard competition who could take the worst pictures and know anything and just paid a little bit extra, and they're cutting me by $1, and somebody's going to click on them from my listing. That sucks.
I've done it. I bought something off. I've been looking at a listing and I see, oh my God, I found it cheaper under here, and for certain things. And I hate to be guilty of it, but I am guilty of it.
And so why has eBay done this? they are run by venture capitalists. They are run by
Bottom
people who
line.
don't understand eBay and don't understand, the difficulty it is to list on their platform and run an eBay business. All they see is you know, is it harder? Is it easier to take money from people who are already here every day, 10, 12 hours a day listing on eBay, or the people we got to attract to come in? They see short-term dollars. We can get more money out of sponsor. We can make different kind of sponsor. We can get more money. If they were going to do this at a store, they'd have to pay 80-90%. What's 30-35% to us? That's the conversation I think they're having. It's short term to
Jeez, we got some shit going on over there.
no, it's just a couple watches. It's do you take the easy, quick money and continue to strangle your sellers, or do you look at the long term picture and go, we don't do a good job of marketing ourselves to different generations. I wonder if they've even had that thought that they. Shane did it one time, so it was. This has been for those of you, Shane, Rise and Grind Picker, 3 or 4 years ago, was asked by one of his friends who teaches at a college to come in and talk about entrepreneurship and selling online. And the question he asked them, he's got a bunch of college kids. The question he asked them, he did 2 classes. How many of you know what eBay is? It was less than 10% of the class, and there was like a couple hundred people in the class. That's scary, folks. That is very, very scary that generation is so missed. You're talking about a generation that's on every. You've got them. If you did some mobile advertising and a campaign to target upcycle and that kind of stuff, you'd be amazed at your results. Look at you're allowing Poshmark and all these other platforms. This is what you're doing. You're not reaching that audience. Poshmark is reaching that audience, and so Poshmark is growing wildly. They're growing leaps and bounds by sellers because sellers are going, what can we do on eBay? You've got to cross. You're forcing people off. Sellers off your platform. I'm really curious to see what happens in the third quarter results. It's going to be.
I don't believe that eBay's going anywhere anytime soon, but they should get their shit together.
So CJ says, and then even then, young people don't trust eBay.
Even people my age don't trust eBay.
I don't know that it's a trust issue, CJ. It's okay. So if I order from Amazon and Amazon says I'll have it there in 2 days, and oh my God, it came in 4. You got it in. I ordered this ink.
If there's a trust issue with eBay, that's our fault. I'm
a cheap SOB, so I ordered this ink. It came in this package. Package and everything was fine. But I ordered this ink 9 days ago. So after I ordered the ink. Within 2 hours, I get a message saying, "Hey, your order's been there. Your order's been shipped." I get a tracking number. It is 5.5 days before they get it to the shipper. How does eBay allow a seller? And this is the people they want. They want larger sellers. They want bigger operations. But these people cannot deliver. I ordered 2 things that day. That one came, and the other one is still not here yet.
My guess is the shipper of that ink sells on both platforms, eBay and Amazon, and maybe even more. eBay for them is not a priority. So they'll get to yours when they get to yours. Amazon, they have to ship it out right away. I mean, or they'll lose their damned account.
So here's a book. Order date for a book I ordered on eBay. August 31st is when I ordered it. Estimated delivery is now Thursday. It was yesterday. They've now changed it. You can't take 16 days to get a book here. 16 days. Let's track the package. I bought it on August 31st. They shipped it on the 6th. They took 7 days to ship this damn book.
And then sent it media mail, which is fine. But it
Not
takes
only
a little
that,
longer sometimes.
it didn't arrive at a USPS facility until the 7th. I ordered it on the 31st. It is 8 days just to get to the damn post office. That's unacceptable. You know,
In this day and age, yeah. Back in the day, man, you would have waited your 2 weeks and then, or you would have sent your money order or check to them or cash, nicely concealed cash, and you would have waited your 2 weeks. And but nowadays that is not the case. You
I
don't
have
get
two,
no.
I have 2 days. I have 2 days shipping. Um,
Yep.
I'm shipping on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Unless eBay hits me, unless Amazon hits me with a second day, and then I'll ship the off day because it's cheaper if you ship the same day it comes in. Happened yesterday. I had an item come in. Amazon customer paid $25 shipping extra for it. They wanted a second day. I shipped it within 2 hours. Ground and second day were the same date service, so I was able to send it ground. So I upgraded to for ground was like 7, second day was like 13. So since they paid 25, I sent it the second day just so the customer can see that it was upgraded. And it guaranteed it gets there. Ground is not as guaranteed as second day or next day or whatever that is. But the shipping times are important. You know, that book, that's insane that it takes so long. You know, if I get it, it should, at worst, it's 2 days. At worst. And if today I'll be shipping until I leave the house at 3:30. If you buy something in one of my stores, eBay, Amazon, Poshmark, Mercari, any of those, between now and 3:30, anything that's supposed to be shipped or purchased will go. It's just 15, 16 days. You take 8.
When I'm here working full time, if it comes in before 3 o'clock, it gets shipped that day. If I'm not working full time, which I'm not right now, then I have 2 days handling, but I still try to ship it that following day.
Yeah, that's a tip for you Amazon sellers. If you do merchant fulfilled and any of you new folks that are going to do Amazon, if you've got expedited shipping checked, it is way cheaper. Remember, Amazon shows you shipping based on the estimated delivery. And so if a customer buys expedited, if it's whether it's second day or next day, they will only show you selections if you're using their shipping that will get it there on the time that, and so you have a lot more choices if you do it immediately. And that's what I did yesterday. You know, today I'd only probably have next day service. You know, it would be $25 or $30 minimum. So what did Lag say? Fee average.
Lag says a lot of stupid shit. That's all I know.
Roman, so you're going to the Roman. You'll be at the reseller rally. Is that what I saw yesterday?
Have you met up with Roman before?
I never met Roman, but it looks like
Roman's a pretty cool dude.
Looks like I'm gonna meet Roman in Cincinnati, which is I'm looking forward to.
Fun time, man.
I would tell you I don't know what you look like, Roman, but I've seen your videos, so I know what you look like.
Roman will make himself known.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be very hard to find.
Roman is nice and quiet and shy.
Yeah. You won't even know he's there.
Mike, I am eligible for Seller Fulfill Prime. I just don't. I don't know why I never did that. Who knows?
Too many headaches for me when I was eligible for it. I don't need the extra stress on my life.
Roman's taking my desk to the meetup.
RG, do you actually have videos, or are you just messing with me?
Yeah, I've never seen his videos, so I don't know.
I think to find you, RG, I have to just go down to Montgomery and start asking people, "Are you RG? Are you RG?"
I don't know why he's yelling at you. I have videos all in caps. I mean, we had a troll on my other podcast that I did with my friend Chris, who would always type in caps, and his excuse was that he couldn't see very well, so he had to type in caps. I don't know how that works.
RG, I wasn't even subscribed to you. I was not one of the 241 subscribers. So,
Got some RA videos. If they're good enough, we'll promote them.
uh,
All right, Archie, just
are you actually in the videos? All I see is a hand and all the thumbnails. Am I
who
supposed to go
does
around
that?
and ask
Yeah, who does that?
what is your hand? Yeah, that people you gotta worry about the people on each other hand in videos. Yeah, Todd, do you really only show your hand because that muskrat that looks like it's on your face?
I got really tempted in Walmart the other day because they had swimwear for $1 a piece, and I know that if I hold on to that for next year, you can make some decent money with her. It's that Time and True brand, which is Walmart's brand, but I've sold a lot of that on Amazon in the past and made some good money. But when things go down to $1 for clothing at Walmart, I used to make really good money.
So Eric, that is a
So
great.
I was boarding the ship about 10 days ago, and my photo ID. The guy looked at it and he looked at me and he said, "I thought you were wearing a COVID mask. My beard is white."
Josh, I haven't watched that video yet. I'm gonna watch it after I get down here. It's on my list of things to do. So if you don't know, Tech and Sports started. He's had a channel, but he's never put a video out. He actually put a video out and showed who he was and talks about his processes and that kind of stuff. That's a smart dude, folks. How he's built his eBay business into a monster business. That'd be well worth the watch. Tech and Sports is somebody could put his channel in there. I did. I had it on Josh's channel, but it is. It makes a difference who you listen to. Listen to people that stimulate your mind and to make you think about what
All
can
right,
I.
I'm out.
He's here for the comedy portion of the show.
I'm not the comic relief. I'm just people just sit here and laugh at me, especially lag. I wanted to be a comedian. That was one of my dreams in life, is to get up there, get on stage, and make people laugh. But I found out I wasn't funny. So
Eric Bischoff, he's got a point. If your shipping is not what you want it to be, make sure you can use Pirate Ship to get. Every now and then, I'll have media that qualifies for media on Amazon, and they don't show for media for whatever reason, or they only because it's they don't. There's for some reason they don't show some kind of shipping. So you can maybe once or twice a week I have to do Amazon shipping on Pirate Ship to save money, but I don't like doing that as much because you lose the protection from Amazon that if they go, hey, it's delivered, I didn't get it. I got a new scam yesterday. I sent out some CDs, Grassroots or somebody else, some double set CD. Every used CD before I send it out, I take it out, I look at it. How many scratches? Is it really perfect? Do I need to run it through the disc machine? Every single one. It goes for DVDs that are used as well. Does it need to go into JFJ Easy Pro, or can I send it out? So I put the disc back in and shipped it out. I get a message yesterday saying there's not any disc in this thing. What do you do if I don't refund them and tell them to return it? All they're going to do is send me back without the disc and keep the disc.
Yep.
And so from this point forward, I have a shrink wrap machine over there. I will take the time to shrink, and I've actually bought some CD sleeves, some big enough for DVD sleeves. So you just have to seal. I just need an impulse sealer and then shrink them down. And as I list them, I will go ahead and check them for that. I won't double check them anymore. I will just idiots.
It's the old scam. My uncle was telling me he had a friend His friend's name was Zerby. I don't think Zerby was his real name. I think it was a nickname. But this is back in the 70s. They would go into McDonald's and order hamburgers. And Zerby would take the meat out of the hamburger. And Zerby would go back up to the counter and say, "You didn't give me any meat." And you get a free hamburger. You know, it's the same scam that's been going on forever. And it's easier for us on Amazon especially to say, okay, here's your CD, here's your refund, whatever. Because Amazon doesn't have your back as much as maybe eBay might in a situation like that.
All right, Lag, I can do that. I'll do a Saturday. I'll do a Saturday while I'm out at the yard sale. So there you go.
So I told you last week I was going to that store at closing. Okay. You have National, I'll say it, Rite Aid. I went to Rite Aid at store closing. Day before they closed. What do you think the clearance rate was? The rate, you know, what percentage off do you think I got that day?
75%.
Nope. Not on everything. There was a few 75s in there. They were only at 50% off the entire store the day before they closed. So some of the merchandise wasn't discounted at all.
They were just going to take it to another store.
Yeah, but I got a few DVDs. This one goes for like 50.
Yeah, you know the DVDs are a different vendor. That's not actually their.
Yeah, but those were 75% off.
Yeah.
So I was hoping for 90%. I went in there 75% off, but there were still deals to be had. So I only spent $8 in there. I didn't spend a lot of time in there because it wasn't a discounted far enough for me. But
so, Lag, I'll check my video. I've been actually recording video the last couple of weeks out doing yard sales. I ran into somebody and they're like, and they knew of the channel. They're like, "Should you have a camera on?" I'm like, "I just took it off." She's like, she asked me, she's like, "So when do you decide to record and not record?" And I looked at her and I said, "Do you really want to know the truth?" Harlan started laughing. Harlan already knew. And she says, "Yeah, I want to know the truth." I'm like, when it gets warm enough that the harness causes my boobs to sweat, I take the camera off. Boob sweat, I'm against. Oh my! She laughed, but her face turned a little.
It's the truth.
I'm like,
I agree. I agree with that. That's why I stopped filming.
Boob sweat. It's a real thing for.
They need to make a good quality high. I mean, they got tiny cameras in our phones, right? They need to make a tiny camera that you can just clip to your lapel or something.
I've got one that it just doesn't record long enough. It only does like 15 minutes. I got one.
But they need something that record, you know, because your GoPro, you put a nice 128 gig card in there, you can record for a good long time.
I don't know where it is.
What I really want is one that clips onto my glasses. They do have them, but they're expensive.
All right, I've got the metal part. Where's the camera?
Yeah, I know they exist.
It's a.
I didn't mean for you to get into your camping gear there.
I'm trying to see what I did with it.
But GoPro isn't the best option for filming yard sales. It's bulky. People notice it. You boob sweat or whatever. I mean, I had it clipped onto the backpack, but I still have to have the backpack on, so I'm still sweating. So that's why I quit filming that kind of stuff. There was no other reason. It's just a pain in the ass.
All right, I don't know what I did with the camera. It's in the other bag, probably.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's Contagious's life support machine making all that noise.
But it's like snoring, though. So it's probably this big. It's not bigger than. It's about the size of a 9-volt battery. That little magnet goes under your shirt, and it'll magnetize to your shirt. So it looks like a little pill. It's a Instago. It's an Insta Go 2.
How's it film though? Is it good? Decent?
It shoots in 1080,
which is fine.
Yeah, for Amazon, because I use Final Cut Pro, so it'll upscale it to 4K if I needed to.
I quit because and I'm using my phone for other things. I don't carry two phones like Scott does, and so I don't want to film with my phone.
So there's a little case for out. Oh, that's just a charging case. Damn it. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. Instago 2 is what I typed in. That's the camera name. Accessories. Have I got to? Let's see how many listens I got to get to a camera. There's 4. The 5th one actually has a camera on it. That's how little it is. It fits in that little pill. Like that's the camera inside the charging case. That little top part comes out.
Did it just clip on? I think you showed it.
It's got a magnet. It magnets that thing.
You know that makes a lot more sense than carrying a GoPro around. GoPros are great, but
it also comes with this little hat clip whenever you buy it. So that's how little it is. I mean, that's my finger. I mean,
so I wanted to make an invention where right down here, underneath the bill of my hat, would have a real tiny little camera. So I bought some cameras, you know, those little spy cameras. There was a square little block. I tried to take it apart and see if I could make the.
Did Todd fall asleep? They said you fell asleep when you're snoring.
Well, I hear that noise, but I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Am I snoring? No, I didn't fall asleep.
It's been since the beginning of the show I've heard it.
Oh, that's Chinny the dog.
Oh, his dog is asleep.
I thought it was his life support machine, but whatever. He's all sick and everything.
Yeah, so Roman says the GoPro 12 is not bad. I would not buy a GoPro. I would buy the
I'm still on the 7.
The other one, I'd buy the DJI. So DJI has an action camera. I think it's better. I've been seriously considering selling the GoPro and buying the DJI.
I broke my GoPro. You want to sell it to me?
So what's everybody gonna do about Cassini? And that's the point of all of it. We can talk about what things eBay needs to do, how they're killing it. So it's important to understand what eBay is doing and how they're negatively affecting us, so you can do something about it. Pivot. You've got to understand. So I want to develop a different business. But it's still reselling. It's just selling different things, and it's something that I'm going to get into in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And I'm sitting here thinking these things do not sell very fast. I'll have a lot of them. They don't sell very fast. I have a second eBay channel. Do you put all these things on the main channel, or do you go, you know what? I'm gonna put all these on the second channel, which right now the second channel has no listings whatsoever, so you don't have to go look for it. I'll tell you what it. When I get it going again, I'll tell you what it is. It's not a big secret. It's just Joni had an eBay account. I don't know what she was doing. Why she didn't use the main one? She started a second account. It don't make any sense. If you know how to find eBay accounts and search by location and what somebody sells, it's pretty easy to. How many eBay sellers are there in Meridianville, Alabama? Not that many.
Mine's even easier to find if you really wanted to.
So, what do you do about it? So that's the decision I'm making. I'm making a decision that I understand that I sell a lot of cameras. That I sell a lot of printers and DVD players and that kind of stuff that has a decent sell-through rate. I don't want to have that store be bogged down by a bunch of stuff that doesn't sell as fast, even though it sells and it's a good plan. And so you've got to understand what eBay is looking for, what they are doing, and make decisions that are in your interest. What you can, the pivots you can make to in order. I'm not telling everybody to go out and start selling Apple stuff, even though Uh, Apple announced some big changes yesterday.
Yeah, well, they didn't. They're being forced to make some big changes. So
Yeah, don't they didn't put GoPro, they didn't put Lightning on USB-C on there and kill the Lightning. They don't miss. They made a fortune off selling you Lightning cables, an absolute fortune. Um,
the EU is really cracking down on. They want them to be able to side load and all sorts of other things, and it's the law now over there, or it will be in next year. So
they
that'll
have.
force us to change too.
I don't think side loading is coming until I think.
It'll be a while, but
So Apple is different than Android. I mean, of course, they're different, but the rate of adoption of the new operating system is much different. Where you've got all these manufacturers who are, I think it's 13 is Android 13 is the newest one. 14 is coming out here in probably a month or two. Uh, you look at it and there's so many phones that are 8, 9, 10 are not running the latest. 11 or 12 is probably the most adopted operating system. Samsung has done a better job because they used to not update as fast. Samsung's gotten better at it. Now that Google makes their own phones, they update like they should. But an iPhone, 17 will come out in 2 weeks. Everybody will adopt 17. That anybody's phone that is a XS Max or higher, an XS or higher, can run 17 and be fine. I've been running 17 beta on the XS. It runs just perfect. So it's easier. So people will adopt theirs. And so I say all that to say they don't have to do it until 2024. The side loading. So I don't think side loading comes until iOS 18. I think
no, it's definitely going to be a while.
They've got another year in order to comply.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I watched a video. I can't remember who did the video.
Yeah, the difference with the phones.
Mudahar, I think, did it.
The difference with the phones is they will sell the iPhone 15 for 2 to 3 years, and so they cut their own throats if they can only sell it for 8 months, and then they hit that deadline and they couldn't sell it anymore in the European market. And so you make the decision that you've got to do it you've got to adopt that part of the law because you want to sell that phone for a couple 3 years. And so
yeah.
But
I would guess that the iPhone 16 is going to take a little bit longer to come out because if iPhone, I don't know if they have to be compliant. They wouldn't have to be compliant with their old phones. So if they could keep iPhone 15 the standard for a while, why wouldn't you?
I wonder how that'll affect 14s. If 14s will be at the end or closing, I don't know how long Apple will sell.
I'm on 12, so
we're trying to decide. I really want the newer camera and the zoom on it. That's the one thing I miss from going from Android to iPhone is I miss the zoom function. And, most people go, you don't need to be able to zoom enough to see the moon. I know, but I need to be able to zoom to see the wall over there. I mean, an iPhone zoom sucks. You use it more than you think you do if you're out and about, especially if you do yard sales because. Okay, people, if you're going to have a yard sale, I know you guys here, if you go to yard sales, this is not something you would do, but can we get an arrow on the sign pointing the correct way? And can you write bigger than something for a child that the people are looking at this in their cars as they're driving by and you're trying
That's annoying. That's annoying.
Okay, so here's the demonstration for any of you who've done a yard sale sign and done it wrong. Here's a demonstration of what happens. Did you read that, or did you just see the blue sign?
That is even too close, actually. It would be like holding it back to you, and then that's pretty much It's stupid. Yeah. How are they? And those signs are the ones that don't usually have arrows. How are you supposed to know?
So we'll be sitting at a stop sign, and we'll see a random sign, and we need to know. We can't read it. We're at the stoplight, Harlan and I. Neither one of us can read it. I wear readers. I can't see this, but I can see the damn sign, and I have excellent anything other. As long as it's longer than my arm, I can see it. And I have to tell Harlan, take a picture of that because he's got an S22 with wonderful zoom that will take the picture and we can blow it up and see it. If I take it with the iPhone, it looks like a scrambled mess. It goes digital and it's all you can't read it.
When I do a yard sale, I go to Dollar Tree. I buy a giant poster board, a few of them, and I write yard sale in big giant letters on it. 849 Broad Street is the address, and then an arrow. That's it. That's all you need on a
Yeah.
yard sale sign, but it has to be big enough to read.
Can
Okay,
you
so
see? Can you see the 925 sterling silver stamp?
nope.
Barely.
I can see it. I can see.
So with the phone zooming in, yep, you can read it.
I do that a lot on small print because my eyes suck.
And so I made a short the other day about the other part of the class that needs to be held is just give us your address, folks. I don't need to know that I need to turn at your Aunt Martha's house and it's down near this, it's down near that.
I saw that video.
Every phone out there has GPS and Google Maps and Apple Maps. It'll take you there. Google Maps is on damn near every phone, no matter who makes it. And it's extremely accurate. Every now and then there's a little quirk in it. I have one problem with Waze, and I don't know how I need to say this to not offend some people. Do I care about offending people?
No.
I think Waze may be LGBT. I think
UPRS.
I think they're the ones who program it, and the reason why is when I'm using Waze, when I used to do, I haven't used it as much anymore, but I still do use it to yard sales. But Waze, when I'd be in Steve's area, and I'd be going to Walmart or something. Waze would take me to the back of it. I'm like, why do I see the ass of every store? You ever notice that Waze will take you to the address?
I don't use Waze as only time I use Waze is when I'm traveling long distance.
Waze takes you to you'll be somewhere and you're like, there's not this store here in this area. Why is this in a neighborhood? It's because you're going to the back end of the store and then you have to go around to the front of it. It's amazing how many times in the last 7 or 8 years I've been to the back of a store because of Waze.
That's only the G part of the LGBTQ.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Saying.
Other than that, they do a wonderful job with the app. It's
I guess it could be the T and the Q part too.
Just frustrating as hell that you're at the back. And most stores, it's fine. You can just kind of go around, but not every store you can get by. And so, yeah, it's.
No, I don't think it's much to ask to write in bigger letters and put the actual street number on a sign, or even in an app or wherever you're listing it at. We have some that says yard sale Saturday, lots of stuff, and that's it. They don't even give an address. And then you have to ask for it and they don't respond. So those ones I just don't go. How do you go?
And this, I'm on the fence. Yesterday I was decided that I didn't need to upgrade. I don't know how this is going to go. Joni, then we started looking at it last night. Joni's got a 12, and the only problem with that phone is it's a great phone. She has no problems. It'll run whatever, but the battery is down to 81%. So if you look at an iPhone gives you the battery health. It will tell you what percentage of your battery is. So if 100% was brand new, she's lost 20% of the battery of that capacity of that phone. The scary thing is this one is only 10 months old and it's lost 8 already. Her phone is 3 years old. So the iPhone 14s have an issue with battery. And it's only 3 months ago, I was still at 100. In the last 3 months, I've lost 8% of battery capacity. So it scares me to think that, in the next year, I could lose another good chunk of it.
Well, my 12 has been phenomenal with battery.
Look it up. You're using it as a camera. Look at whenever you get a chance, go under settings, the battery, and then health and charging. It'll tell you what percentage the battery is.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I don't notice a difference today as opposed to I use the phone. Well, I leave it plugged in most of the time during the day because I know it'll because I'm using GPS and all sorts of other things on there. 3 or 4 apps at a time.
If you're of the praying type, can I ask you to remember Harbor Soap Ron in your prayers? He's got some health issues again. If he wants to tell you about it, he can. But just if you don't mind lifting him up, Ron's a heck of one of the he does give me a hard time about football, and he's got that right. But he's one of the nicest people I've ever met doing this. There's a couple of people, Sue comes on here and she's a saint. Ron's the same way. It's just all the earth, nice guy. He's had a lot of health issues, but this one's just another one, another bump in the road that he's going to beat. But if you lift him up in your prayers, I'm sure he'd greatly appreciate it. Roman, then they announced the new battery has some kind of different stack procedures. Something supposed to be different. They didn't focus on a lot yesterday. They focused more on their carbon neutrality, which is just a crock of shit, folks.
There's no such thing as being carbon neutral, by the way.
There's tons of studies out there right now that have come out and they've been buried that they've got it completely backwards. CO2 in the atmosphere does not control temperature. CO2 follows temperature. So as CO2 and temperature are inverse of each other. So as temperature falls, CO2 does the opposite. And that's usually I forget how many year cycle it is behind it, but they've done a lot of analyzing it, but you're never going to hear about it because climate change is a money grab. It's a huge money grab. You don't believe me? Go look at New York City, right? New York City, New York State. New York State spent all this money on all this green energy, and so what's happening in New York State right now is the people who have gotten all this money from the government to build all this green energy to make clean energy, they are now asking to raise your rates by 70 or 80% in your state because they can't make any money. They're losing money because green energy is not ready yet. Just not ready. I'm not against green energy. It's just
it would be wonderful if it was. I desperately would love to have an electric car. I think it's neat. I think it's great, but the technology ain't there yet.
Yeah,
quite yet.
I've been in Amy Lee's. We went to yard sales when I was up there one time. That's her little Tesla 3. Wonderful car. Loved everything it can do, all the technology. I can't have a vehicle that costs that much money that I can't leave town. And because once you get to, I stop put gas in it, I'm gone. And well, it depends on, I'm an old man. I have to use the bathroom. So it's 5 to 7 minutes. Good. Depending on if there's a line to get a drink or whatever. And if I'm carrying a cooler, I don't even stop at the drinks. But to have to charge is insane.
I am really considering that when the VW Buzz comes out, maybe not the first model year, but I'd love to have one of those. But am I going to be able to drive it from here to North Carolina without having to stop for 6 times? That's my only fear with electric right now.
I don't know, Amy. We're going to Cincinnati and back. Anybody who's got on the end of the month, anybody who's got a Tesla, I've just got a regular old minivan. Let's race to Cincinnati and back.
Depends on how far if you're going for more than 250 miles, you're going to win.
She says 5 to 7 minutes. She can get a 250. Yeah. See, Amy, here's the one thing I would tell you.
If that's the case, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
You live in the Northeast. You've got chargers at work. You've got chargers everywhere. I live in the South. How many Tesla chargers are in Huntsville, Alabama? The metro area is 500,000 people. How many Tesla chargers are in Huntsville, Alabama?
You would think that there would be quite a few.
This is a technology place. There's more engineers per capita in this city than in any other city in the country. We have rockets. We have everybody who does any kind of aerospace and technology. How many Tesla chargers are in Huntsville, Alabama?
Somebody's going to Google it. I can tell you.
I'll give you a hint. They've been open within the last 6 months. There's one little set of them. I think there's like 8.
We have none in my town. Ashtabula has none. If I go over to Erie, Walmart has them. The one Walmart on, the big Walmart. Then there's a Circle K that has them, and some of the dealerships have them. But other than that, you're not going to find them.
Nearest Tesla charger to me is 40 miles.
That's it.
There's an app. There's an app that you can download that gives you all the chargers. Once that technology though is prevalent, so if I owned a restaurant today and I wanted people to stay there, and I know it's going to take them 45 minutes to charge their car, I'm probably going to think about putting a couple chargers there. You know, that kind of thing. So it'll eventually.
Steve, Carla wants to know if you ever been to Greenville, South Carolina, and if you been there, did you like it?
I have not.
I've been there.
It's not that far. It's not that far from. You know, how far is that from Hickory? That's all I need to know. Because I could visit, but I'm only down that way a couple times a year.
Amy Lee, those 12 in Huntsville are the ones that just at the new Midtown. That's the only ones we have. Athens is from here. Athens is 47 minutes. So Carla, when I was in Greenville, South Carolina, you know what? The one thing I was very thankful for when the last time I was in Greenville, South Carolina, I was glad I had this with me. You better be packing something if you're in Greenville, South Carolina, because that's
my biggest issue with electric vehicles right now isn't the fact that I might have a hard time finding a charger after I leave my house. It's the cost of putting a charger in my house. That's a little bit, and you can charge off your regular 110, but you'll never, it'll take way too long to get a charge. So that then you can charge off. You can also charge off where you plug your dryer in if you have that type of dryer with the big, or a stove with the big thing.
So Tina
that
says,
takes a long time.
Tina with the Lake Exchange says, friend's sister drove from, let's put it up here so I can see it. Oh, shit, that's the wrong one. Okay, we'll do it. Drove from Arizona to Wisconsin, had to stop 14 times.
Currently. I think the technology will get better.
It'll get better. I really think that Toyota and their hydrogen is probably the answer. Hydrogen still uses a battery system and it converts the hydrogen, but the hydrogen is like filling up for gas. Amy, I'm talking. I am very impressed with. I've always been impressed with you. Your mind is incredible for an entrepreneur. Amy got a new. She's got 2 Teslas. She's put one on Turo.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
He's extraordinarily. Amy's extraordinarily. I say wheeler, a dealer, a hustler. Amy Lee is the stuff she finds and sells, and it's just absolutely amazing. Just get some batteries.
I've looked into that water-powered car guy. I don't think he actually invented a water-powered car, but it's. I did a lot of looking into conspiracy theories at one point in my life.
Carla, just do some research on crime statistics and that kind of stuff.
Speaking of which,
no, it's Greenville's going to be like anywhere else. It's going to have good and bad places. Remember, when I'm doing RA, you find a lot more stuff in the bad areas. So I've been all over this country. I've seen a lot of the bad areas. Some of the better finds and stuff I found were
I love East Cleveland.
When I was in Philadelphia, and there were Rite Aids that are under the L and all that stuff, and all those crazy places. Nobody goes in there and buys stuff. I was looking for eye drops in. I think it wasn't Newark. It was one of the other shitholes in New Jersey, and Trenton. I was in Trenton, and there's a Rite Aid right beside a bus station, and I got a parking spot right in front of the Rite Aid. Even though I'm in New Jersey and they'd have put me in jail for having my little pew-pew, I grabbed it anywhere because there were people sleeping on the sidewalks, and I found 7 boxes of eye drops that were worth $200 a box in there.
There's one Rite Aid in Pittsburgh, and I'm sure you're familiar with it. It's the one downtown that you have to park your car and walk a couple blocks to get to because it's in this, it's right downtown, middle of downtown. That one was nice. And then there's another Rite Aid in Pittsburgh over by the college that there's a Rite Aid here, and you walk around the corner, and there's another Rite Aid here, and people forget that there's another Rite Aid here. So the people who were looking for the eye drops got this Rite Aid, but they didn't walk around the corner to the other Rite Aid. And I got the most. I got 4 in that store, 4 or 5 in that store.
I was
Because
in
nobody knew it was there.
I was in Baltimore 6 months after they burned the CVS to the ground, and there's a Rite Aid down the street from it. When I pulled into the parking lot, there were people on every corner just hanging out in the street, and I'm the only one with this color skin, and I grabbed my buddy. It wasn't this one, but it's his friend. It's his friend that's in the house, and we went inside, and I met the nicest people. A guy wanted to know what I did. It was so very fascinated by reselling and retail arbitrage. And okay, you're not going to believe this. I bought an entire basket full of Beanie Babies. They tell you can't sell Beanie Babies. They're full of shit. There was a cow. Only place I ever found a cow, and that store had 3 of them. That cow was $97. I paid $4.50 for each of them.
You know, they still had most of the toys at that Rite Aid that I went to the other day were gone because they were 75% off. Makes sense that those are gone, but the Beanie Babies were still there. So the Beanie Boos. So I scanned them. Now those particular ones that were still there, yeah, they weren't worth anything, but there are still some out there. I've bought a few at Rite Aids in different places. And speaking of driving through, I've had the same experience in East Cleveland as you did with, you walk into that Rite Aid. Those are the hardest working people you're ever going to want to meet. They're very friendly. They will help you. They'll carry shit to your car for you.
The one thing I can tell you about the rougher areas is through all my experiences, there are a ton of nice people that just happen to live in a bad area. It's only a few. It truly is 1 to 2% of people that make it bad for everybody. You treat people with kindness and respect. Vast majority of the time you're gonna get that back. I'm 100%.
The problem with a place like Cleveland is Cleveland has started. They won't have anything to do with that. So because of that, Cleveland won't annex them. And if they did, it used to be a beautiful place. Rockefeller had a place there. It's shit now. Javis is asking about Bargain Hunt and any pointers because they're opening at Bargain Hunt. Yes, the stickers suck ass.
And yes, you have missed Bargain Hunt, so ignore it. So here's what Bargain Hunt did. So if you've never been to a Bargain Hunt is a scratch and dent discounted clearance. They sell stuff. You can buy truckloads of stuff from them or pallets out of Tennessee. So what they used to do is when they first started, they'd sell. Okay, we'll go back to the camera. They get this camera, and they put it's a $700 camera. They put $600 on it, and they put the date it came in. So whatever week it came in. So if it came in on August 1st, after 4 weeks, the 5th week is 10% off. The 6th week is 20% off, and 30, 40, 50 till it gets to 90% off. And that was, you could find some really good stuff that was 60, 70, 80% off of their small discounted price. And so if it was a banged up box, you sell it on eBay. If it was a good box, which happened a lot, you can sell them on Amazon. Their receipts are not great, so you got to be careful with that. But now they just put regular prices on it, and they sell you at a discounted price.
There's still stuff to be found in those stores, but
it's much
not
harder.
cheap.
Yeah, it's much harder.
I don't have one around me, but I do go to one down when I go down to North Carolina, and there's a couple that I went to in Nashville, and they're good stores for some things, but they're not great. You can still find things in there though, so don't just discount it just because it's not what it used to be. But you can still find once in a while discontinued items in there. Some of the toys can be decent. The stickers though, even with our methods, are very hard to get off. They suck. I hate them.
They seem to always stick them on like the plastic where you can't put a lot of heat to
Worst part.
them. Uh,
The worst part. We did the last thing I bought at Bargain Hunt in bulk was the pull-ups that we were buying a lot of.
yeah, I
Discontinued
bought a lot.
pull-ups.
The Spider-Man.
And yeah, and getting the stickers off of those. Oh my god.
I just put Amazon stickers on top of them. I never even heard it.
Mm, that was probably a better idea because you know we're not going to peel that off. I mean, I did that with the one Halloween item we were selling. I just finally because it's printed right on the tag. What do you do? Put the sticker right over top. I didn't have one customer say, "Hey, wait, this said $7 underneath."
Well, on that one, I took a black marker and covered it out.
Marker
Then
first,
I,
yeah. Marker
then I
first,
put
and then
on-
a sticker on top.
It wouldn't come through the label.
There are ways, people.
Ollie stickers, they are bad because they split, and they have those two little circles in them. Ollie's are bad. I'll give you that.
All these are bad. Bargain Hunt is even worse. For real. Bargain Hunt is so bad that if I'm on the fence about buying something, it stays there. That's how bad their stickers are.
That you got to have a set of rules. You gotta understand where you're at and how much work you got to put into something to get it sellable, and what platform you're on, and that kind of stuff. And so there are certain stores that the rules are. That's Walmart stickers are much more difficult than they used to be. With them, they've got those yellow ones are similar to Ollie's, where when you take them off, the little stuff in the little circles comes out. That sucks.
If you're really slow with them, and you're very careful, they usually come off decently, but not always.
Not always. Depends on what the surface is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, how do you help yourself with Cassini? You got.
Oh yeah, we have a topic. I forgot.
Change your opportunity summit. Everybody has. You can change some of. If there are certain things you weren't buying, understand what sell-through rates things have, and don't listen to these fucking idiots who tell you all the time, "Oh, that's got a 500% sell-through rate." No, it doesn't. You're an idiot. And that should be a thing if you're deciding who to listen to on the internet. If at any point they tell you an item has more than 100% sell-through rate, you should unsubscribe and never listen to them again, because they don't know the basics and they can't calculate sell-through rate, and they're not smart enough to look it up and understand that the maximum sell-through rate is 100%. If you've got one for sale, you can't sell three. Sorry. If you've got three for sale, you can sell three. If you've got three for sale, you can sell one or none.
So if I have 3 items and I sell 3 of those items, that's not a 300% sell-through rate?
No.
But I sold 3.
The only way, somebody actually corrected me on this, the only way that you can do that is if you went to the store and you bought one and put another one in your pocket, you only bought one to sell one, but you sold 2. There you go.
Or you're selling triples because they multiply.
And the only other option is if you buy a single 2-pack and you split the 2-pack up. Technically, you bought one item, you sold 2, but you're not comparing apples to apples, so it's still going to be a 1-to-1. Carla, what are you talking about? What's a Scotty peeler?
I actually have never used a Scotty peeler. I know Scott does, but I have not used one. This is my Scotty peeler.
Scott invented Scotty peelers, didn't he?
Do I use Scotty peeler?
He's just not telling us that he did.
That's just one of the cups on the desk.
I just keep forgetting to buy one. I've never owned them.
So, Carla, the one thing I'll tell you is that right there, if you're not careful, well, buy some Band-Aids. Because this thing is sharp all the way around. And, yeah, buy some Band-Aids. I would recommend the combo packs where they give you like 2 metal and 2 or 3 plastic get started. They each have their own use. But then when you're using a heat gun, you see how that one looks? It's supposed to look like that one. So watch the heat guns, because that one, I did something to the corner of that one. But they are. And the one thing I can tell you too is, if you've got a small file, one nice thing is every now and then, if you drop them or something, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the corner of that one has got a little ding in it. A nice little metal file will take it and keep you from scratching your box.
Been using it for a toothpick.
No, don't use it as a toothpick. I don't know what you're talking about. There's 2 of them over there. Yeah, they're everywhere. I generally buy them the 5-pack or whatever it is. The other thing that I don't have, I only got the bottle. I got to go buy some today. Oh no, this is the full bottle. That right there is your best friend.
By the way, Rosinol and Zippo, same thing.
All this
Made by the
stuff
same company.
in my Amazon store, link down below. This right here, its best friend is.
I loved it. I love using a lighter fluid. That is my go-to.
You guys, you can order these on Amazon. They're harder to find in Walmart than they used to be. They're just makeup wedges. Buy 100 or 200 them at a time, and with lighter fluid, it gets the gum residue off. When you pull a sticker, there's always going to be some glue left. Especially if you use a heat gun, it'll melt it loose, but it'll leave residue on the box. That is your best friend, because it holds the liquid in there and will stay moist.
I don't care for using the makeup wedges. For me, I don't like the way they work, but
It'll stay moist. And I usually get 3 or 4 days out of one of these when I'm messing around. And it holds the lighter fluid, so you don't use as much. And
I don't know. I use the microfiber cloths you can get at Dollar Tree, and that's what I use. But it's preference. I just don't like the makeup wedges as much. But
boy,
he's had really good success with them.
So Robert, lighter fluid or Goo Gone, which is better? Lighter fluid, 100%. So lighter fluid has that smell going on. You can smell it, but when it evaporates, the smell goes away. It doesn't. I've had it only a couple things that's lightened the color, but very rare that I've ever had any problem. I've been using it since 2015. Goo Gone to me leaves a greasy film. It feels slick. So there's sometimes I will use Goo Gone, but then after I get done with the Goo Gone, I'll hit it with lighter fluid to get rid of that damn film. So Goo Gone leaves a film that I don't like.
I would say that if you are using lighter fluid and it lightens the color of something, Goo Gone would have as well. Anything would have at that point, because lighter fluid is very mild to the surfaces. I've had it taken ink off before, but that's only because anything water would have taken ink off of that surface.
Did I make a YouTube short here lately about taking marker off? I recorded it. Did I release it? All right, so I'll have a YouTube short today or first thing in the morning, Carla, that shows you about if you were to how to get. If say I sold these, if somebody would have wrote on it, like I have some things that where did I buy them? A thrift store somewhere here in town had wrote the price on it. It'll take marker off, and I did use these too.
Midlife Picker says rubbing alcohol, and you can use that to remove stickers. It doesn't work as effectively. What I do is use the lighter fluid and follow up with rubbing alcohol to finish up cleaning. So
I just like the sponge and the lighter fluid because it evaporates so fast. It's off the surface. You don't have to deal with it. It doesn't smell. It leaves it clean. The only time it doesn't work as well is whenever this starts getting a lot of buildup on it, and I'll just throw it away and get the next one. But and
hand sanitizer, all that is rubbing alcohol with smell good in it. So.
that is very effective for getting marker off. It'll be in the video. I tested hand sanitizer versus Carla. You're gonna be shocked if you don't know these kind of things. Hand sanitizer will take marker off of a shiny box. This is a shiny box, but not like this one because it'll soak into this one.
Have you ever
And
put hand sanitizer up against regular rubbing alcohol? Because my guess is that regular rubbing alcohol would do the same job.
I have not. That's a good. I'll do that.
Because hand sanitizer, all that is rubbing alcohol with smell good in it.
They've made lighter fluid harder to find at Walmart. If you go in and use your Walmart app, the Walmart app will tell you when you're in the store where it is. It's always in the center aisle where you can buy the cigarettes. That's the only place in Walmart where you can find lighter fluid.
Every single hardware store in the world has lighter fluid too, by the way.
And it's just as cheap on Amazon. I've got a link down below.
Rite Aids, if you still have them, carry lighter fluid. That's where I usually get mine.
So Timothy says rubbing alcohol dries up the surface of the item. The lighter fluid does not.
It can, depending on the item. I use rubbing alcohol mainly on glossy surfaces or glass.
Yeah, Amy, that's why I like it so much. It dries so fast. It does. Lighter fluid dries exceptionally fast. That's also a reason why I use a sponge, because if it dries real fast, you can hit it again. Undue lag does very well. They just come in such small bottles. I
think here what we're learning today is use what works for you. for me, it's the lighter fluid followed by rubbing alcohol on certain things.
Gasoline would be a negative. So another one, if you've tried everything else under the sun, if you've tried everything else under the sun and you really want to try something that will take every fucking thing off, brake cleaner. You'd be amazed what brake cleaner will do.
Or carb cleaner. It's the same stuff basically. But yeah. I use it a lot. Obviously, working on the car, I'll use a lot of carb cleaner.
Yeah, because you drive a Kia, you better have a...
No, the Volkswagen. Volkswagen. I've never actually had to work on any of my Kias at all. If there's a problem, it goes to the garage. But as far as a problem that I can fix, nah.
Let's see. Any more tricks that we missed? We still got 30 minutes. But those... that's Carl. I appreciate you asking some of these questions. It really, a lot of this stuff we see a lot of the same people in the chat. So and they've heard this stuff over and over. But anybody that's newer, feel free to any kind of topic like that. We'll be more happy to tell you everything we do. It's reselling is one of the few things out there. Where we'll get on YouTube and teach our competition how to do better.
I use acetone on metal surfaces and some wood surfaces, but
be careful on plastic.
It will eat plastic. Yeah.
There's certain things it won't. I can use it on acrylic, but I don't recommend using it.
Did you come out here to tell everybody hello?
If you don't have to.
Janie's asleep. You can't tell her hello.
But on metal surfaces, you're right. It works great.
All right, if anybody knew, this is Phoebe. This is my dog.
Phoebe.
I'm Daddy's dog.
Kia's answer to all these break-ins was to give everybody a free club for their steering wheel. Was that what did they call them, the club still?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get one. My Kia doesn't have the break-in issues. Mine was a software issue that they fixed. My wife's Kia has the break-in issues.
Robert Bowman, I covered this in the video that I'll have out. Robert says it sometimes it leaves brown under the package. One of the ones I did that. I'm gonna show you. I went on Temu and ordered these for I think they were like $1.08 for 500. They say thank you for supporting my small business, and I'll just stick one of them over the spot.
Well-placed stickers are probably one of the pro tips that I learned from Sue, actually. A well-placed sticker.
Yeah, Timothy, I think acetone would work on ceramic because it's so hard.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so there are different kitchen cleaners that you can use, especially the older powder cleaners. Uh, what are they? Somebody in the chat tell me what some of those older power, like they shake cans. Some of those work really well on stains on coffee mugs. Like what the hell are they?
I forget. Comet, that kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff. Yeah, like Comet.
You can still buy that. It's still in Walmart.
Um, but it's
Baking soda, maybe. Try that on a ceramic surface.
so
If you
one thing that really works is dry erase markers. It takes a lot of we'll take marks and stuff out of coffee cups, like because people stir it with a metal spoon. It'll take a lot. Barkeeper shred. That's the one I was really looking for, Chatsy. Thank you. That's the one that worked very well.
My wife had a pan that was stained on the inside and the outside. So she put it in boiling water with baking soda in it. And man, did that, it looked brand new when she pulled that thing out of there. So that's another trick that if you're selling that kind of stuff, metal that's stained. That wasn't a pan. Something with coffee stains on it. But anyway, baking soda, boiling baking soda in water. Try it. You'll be surprised.
So here's a question for you, Harlan. Do you prefer your pasties with little tassels on them? Just checking. He said like a pasty, so Are you impressed if they can dangle them around and make the little pasties do little? There you go. Even I got Contagious to laugh at that one.
So
Been there, seen that.
I'd never heard of that before, but Jabez says he sometimes loosens stickers by putting them on a heating pad. That's actually a brilliant idea. It's a less intrusive way to heat the sticker up as opposed to a heat gun.
So you can buy anything at a yard sale. So last Saturday, Harlan found a brand new in the package embossing tool. So heat guns are just for savage Neanderthals.
By the way, to get stains out of clothing, somebody said dish soap. I use this on small stains. Tide pen. Man, does that thing look good. And I keep a couple of them in my desk here. I don't do a lot of clothing, but I use those.
Speaking,
For that looked like something totally different when you first held it up.
speaking of pasties, so Harlan found one of these at the yard sale last week. What'd you pay? $2 or $3 for it? It wasn't much.
$3.
$3, brand new. So this is basically a mini heat gun. Is all it is. They call it an embossing tool for crafting. Why is this better than a heat gun? It's because it's got plastic tip on it. You can hold it almost like a pencil. That doesn't heat up. It's got a more directed air, so you can put it right at a sticker. Whereas a heat gun, it's going to kind of go everywhere, and it's going to got a metal end that's going to get hot, and you're going to get burned. I don't care how good you are. These things are. I've got them in the store down there. They're $12 to $15 max.
And the pink
This
goes
one-
with pasties.
This one came from a garage sale. It's my go-to. I have another one, but this is my go-to. It's much better, and like yours, it has the plastic
What's
and
that?
it's directed.
Contagion, what do you say? They're easy to get pasties off with? Is that what you said?
I think I paid
Pink ones.
$2 for this one at a yard sale. And mine has the little stand on it, so you can set it on the desk.
Mine used to have a little stand on it. I think long gone.
A
And,
multi-tool.
I don't use the stand that often, but I do use it. That heat gun comes in handy for a lot of things. I have shrink tube for electronics, and it'll shrink that tube real nice.
So
Amy said this is disturbing. It went downhill when we started talking about moist.
But then properly placed stickers. I was like, what are they talking about?
So Sue gave me the idea one time. You know how at some stores they put the words like great value or buyer's choice on a sticker? She would get those made up and if there's an imperfection in something, she'd put it on there, and it would work. Because people still looks brand new. I mean, I wouldn't do that for Amazon, but
I wondered how you made the leap from what we were talking about to pasties, properly paste stickers. Now that makes sense.
I didn't get it either. Now I did.
Suction cup for the showers. You can take.
All right, I think
Man.
we're going a little too far. You're loosening the wrong kind of thing there.
Mm.
But the one thing I would tell you with all these methods and all these things is you got to treat it. What's the first thing they tell you on a bottle? If you got a bottle of carpet cleaner, you spin it around, it's going to tell you to try this in an inconspicuous place. So if you want to know how it reacts, if there was something like this, and if this was $100, I would get a similar box and try it first on a piece of junk box to see what it's going to do. If you don't have any experience with all these different items, I'm very confident in the Roncinol that it's not going to damage anything. So I use it freely on lots of things. If the box gets damaged, I'll just downgrade the condition and say, hey, the box has some damage, and it went from new to like new. It went from new to new. On eBay, it stays new. I'll just tell them the box is not perfect.
So even if you put that lighter fluid on a surface that absorbs, it doesn't leave a stain.
No,
which is really nice. Other things may leave a stain, so that's it's been my go-to ever since you told me about it.
And I don't know how I figured it out. I really don't remember. I think
there's not a lot of videos on YouTube about it, so I don't know where you got it originally.
I think I remember the guy. I don't know if he's still around anymore. I watched. He was making videos in 15. I can't think of his name though.
I'm sure somebody stumbled upon it on accident one day. I don't have anything else. Let's try this. And it's genius.
The one thing is, if you've got an area where you can try it on, don't be afraid to try most things out. Another one that's really, really strong is Oops, OOPS, Oops. That one has a strong odor and doesn't evaporate as well, and will change colors. But that's one of the last resorts I use too. It comes in a metal can. I can get up and get it if you want me to. I think it'll be in the video. I don't think it'll be a short. I think it's too long to be a short. I think the video is like 3 minutes. What did I shoot it with? Let's see if I shot it with the phone. But it's anything. If you're the one thing I talk about over and over, and I can't stress this enough. When you're out at yard sales or thrifting or whatever, if that's your deal, you'd be amazed how you can upgrade at an estate sale and shit. Stop moving. At an estate sale and bought that filing cabinet. It's full of CDs right now because it holds CDs as half drawers. That was $20. That's a heavy duty filing cabinet. The top 3 drawers that would have been of a 4-drawer filing cabinet are half drawers, and each one of them holds 80 or 100 CDs. It's a lot. And I didn't know. I'd never even seen one of those before. On the other side of the building, I have the horizontal filing cabinet with 4 drawers. The drawers pull out. All my DVDs are in there. I've still got one more bottom to go, but it holds all the DVDs.
I went for my DVDs. Remember when we were buying the Dollar Tree ones? Well, if you got there at the right time and they were putting them out, they'd let you have the boxes. So all my DVDs are in cardboard boxes like that, but they stack real nice.
I haven't baseball. We were late today, and you weren't here to tell us, so we appreciate you.
We were 2 minutes and 26 seconds late.
Yeah, somebody had us do a second. So
yeah,
I haven't sold a Barbie in a couple of days. I sold 2 or 3 the other day. I guess I need to put them on the repricer.
I have none.
I have quite a few. The nice thing is you sell 2 or 3 of them, and all the rest of them are free money. So
The bad thing about being a part timer now is that when these trends come up, I'm not out actively looking for anything, so I can't capitalize on them. I'll still buy things, but I'm not out there looking to capitalize on it.
it's just be very inventive and creative. The one thing I tell you, if you saw a lot of paper, a regular filing cabinet like the one right here, or even if you're a clothing seller, I know clothing sellers that use filing cabinets to store clothing, because if you put them in a bag and stand up like shirts up, how many shirts can you put in these filing cabinet drawers and have 4? You know, you naturally have a place to put labels on to tell you if your number using a numbering system, 1 through 200 is in this drawer or whatever.
Wasn't there a YouTuber at one point who used a filing cabinet for clothing?
Yes.
I want to say there was. I can't remember who it was. That was a long time ago, though.
Todd, do you have on a blue shirt?
I believe he does.
He's sleeping.
He's asleep.
He gone.
Yeah. I saw a shadow.
Blink twice if you're awake, Todd. Blink twice.
He's got a can of remover on his desk. He removed himself. He's naked.
RG thinks he's naked, so that's okay, Todd. We just want to see your hand. We don't want to see the rest.
Yeah, I would have been on here earlier, but I had to run home and put on a blue shirt.
Oh, I didn't even get the reference. Yeah, me too. I think Todd does have a blue shirt on. That's the funny part.
This is the Blue Man Group morning show.
Yeah, blue shirt, no pants. Is that it? Everybody got the message? Blue shirt, no pants.
Hello.
I got shorts on. I got my lawn mowing shorts on. They're real lightweight, so I don't sweat as much. Dry wicking or moisture wicking or whatever they call them.
I can't
I
believe
got them on clearance at Walmart.
you took mowing away from Marsha. I can't believe that.
Does that wick,
She
does
mowed
that wick
last.
moistness off of your skin?
I don't know. I can't really
Oh,
tell.
moist.
Moisture wicking. Todd, do you have on a blue shirt?
Yeah. Did you see me?
No, but we all have blue shirts on.
It's almost as if we set it up that way.
Holy cow. He had to be sitting there.
And the thing is, the color, the shade of blue is almost the same on all of us.
It's weird. I haven't worn this shirt in years. I couldn't wear it. I was too fat.
This is my brand new hoodie that my mom got me for Christmas last year that I just picked up last week because that's how often I see my mother. I'm a horrible son. Horrible son. Anyway, it fits. It's the only one I have that fits anymore.
I don't own orange.
I do not own an orange either.
Who would wear orange and blue?
Blue, black, gray. That is all you're ever going to see from me.
Yeah, this has got a golf course, one of the fancy golf courses in Wilmington. Because when I was there, all the shirts, the Goodwill shirts were like $2.99.
Yeah, slag, I know.
Yeah, this one's from that fancy golf course fruit looms. Fruit of the loom. Yeah.
This is from, if you know Wilmington, this is the Porter's Neck golf.
I'm sure this is the cheapest Walmart brand my mother could find.
Yeah,
this is my yearly gift from my mother. It's a new hoodie every year.
I thought Lag was the only one still getting dressed by his mother.
You know.
Was that a jumpsuit?
Lag says I need to see my mom more often. I am a horrible son. I don't see my family hardly at all. Just because I live farther away. I live out here and not out there very often.
Mm-mm-mm.
When I say farther away, I live within 20 miles of my mother. Not even, probably 15 miles. But I just don't go that way very often.
That makes it sound better.
Yeah, I know. I'm a horrible son. I know it. I tell her every time I see her, I said, quit buying me stuff. But she still does. She also got me 2 cans of Spam and a summer sausage.
Ooh.
That is not a loving mother.
That is a wonderful mother. She's the best.
If my mom gave me Spam and Vienna sausage, that means I hate you, Arlen. Here,
Summer sausage, not Vienna.
same thing.
No, not the
One's
same
in
thing.
one's in sludge.
I love them both.
Pull them out.
I'm trying to
I
think.
love them both.
Did we find anything else exciting at the yard sale Saturday, Harlan?
No Spam.
We had a lot of yard sales, but there didn't.
Nothing spectacular.
There was some big stuff, but nothing that spectacular. It's terrible. It's only been like 3 days. I can't remember nothing about it.
Oh, you found a unicorn. Was that this past week?
Yeah, I took it to. It's at the auction now.
Mm-hmm.
The unicorn. She got some videos riding the unicorn. It's already at the auction for sale.
That was a freebie. That's 2 weeks in a row we've got freebies off the side of the road.
I really need to go downtown. One of these, I keep threatening to do it. As soon as I get the truck running again. Damn it! I have to go get the show. I gotta go get a battery.
Oh yeah.
The battery. So Interstate has a store here, and I could get an Interstate battery at Costco for $120 for the truck. But Interstate has a blemish battery for $70. So
Cha-ching.
so I'm going to Interstate as soon as the.
So when I buy a battery for a vehicle, I go to Walmart and I buy the cheapest one they have, and I put it in the car, and if it turns the car over, then I'm good. If not, then I'll have to.
The problem with vehicles is you got to have enough cranking amps that it runs your electronics.
I haven't had an issue yet. I drive a Kia.
Wasn't the guy telling you about that, Harlan, with these trucks that we have, that you got to have so many amps just to get the electronics running?
Yeah, it needs to be a little
newer vehicles,
a little higher than normal. Yeah, there was one battery he showed me, and he said I wouldn't for your truck. I wouldn't get this one. You need a little more pop.
Yeah.
So my wife's son had a Tundra, and it was an older one though. But I bought the cheapest Walmart battery they had, and it worked. But he didn't have any real electronics in that car, except whatever they had in whatever year that was, 2001 or so.
Last week I talked about emptying the building and making the building more user friendly. I actually did go talk to the guy the storage buildings that I have two at. They do not have an open one, so I am first on the wait list for any of the large sizes. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll be able to tell you that I got a third storage building and I'm completely emptying. Plan is for all these shelves to go, and to organize all the inventory over there. So I will be a regular YouTuber who can make a video going, I got to pull this and go pull it in the storage building.
Is it all right for me to do the same thing you did at the beginning of the show, except when people talk about Kias? Like, just
I want to talk about
put them in timeout for 300 seconds.
Which was it? Is it Kias or Hyundais that they can steal so easily?
It's Kia. Well, it might be a Hyundai too, because made by the same company, aren't they?
Who would want to steal one though?
Oh, they like. They're wonderful cars. Why wouldn't you want to steal one?
If you're just going to joyride and wreck them, what difference does it make?
There. That's how I feel about baseball. I hit his comment. You forgot I'm a moderator.
Don't kill all our fun.
I'll tell you what, that Kia, both my Kias have made me more money. They're great on gas, number one. But they've been my go-to cars for hauling stuff. I still make money with my car.
So what is this?
It looks like a UPC code number. Let's go look it
I
up.
tried to copy paste, but it won't let me. So
I did. Well, it doesn't come up there. Let's go to context menu search and go to Amazon.
So
That
Gwen
is,
just,
by the way, context menu search. After I learned that one,
Gwen just
you.
left for the clinic to get a COVID test.
all right. So I guess I will. Do I need to do? How many people in the chat? This is a question. We got 92 people. While I'm asking you the question, everybody hit the thumbs up. All right, cool.
I don't know what that comes up as. I can't figure it out.
How many of you use context search, and how many people would you want me to make a video on how to use context search? It is.
I think you should.
It is by far one of the most useful tools for searching that I use. I use it every single time I sit down to look up. You have to use it on a computer. It's an extension, and it's free. But you can customize it to websites so that, with a highlight and a click, you can pull Amazon completed, eBay completed, whatever. I can teach you how to do that. How many people use that? It is absolutely amazing. I've put it in the course, and I put it in several other things. And I've talked about it before, especially when I've done live classes. But
I don't think you've
made a
You've
video.
never made a dedicated video for that. I would do it. It'd be a nice little YouTube short.
It won't be a short. It'd have to be take 5 or 6.
You can explain that pretty quick.
But you got to explain how to
add and stuff.
how to customize it.
Somebody asked a question. How many miles did my last Kia have? About 150. But I think I'm fairly certain that car had a defect when I bought it, because it always burned oil. That particular one. I don't think it was a factory defect. I think it's something happened along the way.
All right. So Glenn said yes.
A light amount of oil, but a little bit.
Robert, if you don't use context search and you've heard a lot of stuff I've said, what the hell? What the hell? Context search is absolutely amazing. It is.
Once I learned to use it, you have to have Chrome. It won't work on Firefox, and I was a big Firefox.
It will work on Firefox. Will it? It works on Firefox.
Does it? It didn't before. I know that. But anyway, on Chrome, it works really
Dave
good.
set it up on Firefox. I believe Dave did.
I'll have to try again. But Firefox for me isn't. They're not like, I can't use the iPhone camera on StreamYard, so I switched. Or actually, Firefox I can. Chrome I can't. So I use Firefox for certain things. I use Chrome. But anyway, I switched to Chrome for most things nowadays, and it works great.
Did you? This is
Got
awesome.
rid of Harlan.
That's awesome right there.
Yeah, whatever.
How
How come it's okay to pick on me for my car?
Because you're only here to be the buzz.
You're right. That is my role most of the time.
Genflix, sorry that my southern accent does not get you can't tell the difference between contact and context. Sorry, it's I will try to enunciate better. Amy Lee says Firefox does have the add-on. I thought it did.
Okay, I don't think it did when I tried the first time. So,
All right, so Dave, yeah, I think it works the same. Once I let Dave wake up, I call him, and I think it works the same.
So a contact search is kind of like a deep cavity or something.
Yeah,
I
contact.
don't want a contact search.
Whenever the doctor does the glove, snaps the glove like this, that's contact search. Context search is.
I don't even want to know what he's searching for.
Gwen got a pacemaker, so she was always getting patted down at the airports on her trip.
Jody sent me it was either a TikTok or an Instagram thing. This woman was complaining about having a hard time swallowing or something, and so the doctor was going to go down in her. They filmed it for some reason. She had fallen asleep on a beach, and ever since, or by Lakeside or something, ever since that point, she'd had trouble swallowing. So they decided to film the doctor going in with a thing to look and see what was down there. They pulled out a 4-foot snake that had crawled down her throat while she fell. She was a mouse sleeper and fell asleep beside the water. The snake went down in her throat. He pulled out this damn ass snake out of her.
That can't be real.
It was real, unless they did it in a movie.
I could imagine something like that happening, but I'm assuming the snake was no longer with us.
It was not in Alabama.
I don't even want to hear about things like that. I would never watch that video.
Tactical Z said he needs to date
Yes.
her.
I saw that.
You guys in the chat make the show. I'm telling you what, I can rant. And
I
rave.
could imagine though that something like that happening. If that's the video, I'm not watching it. I don't want to see things like that.
I might have sent it to Harlan. Who knows? You know, is there any doubt if a woman's got a snake down her throat, Harlan's got a link to it? Oh, so there you go. Watch that one. That was creepy as. Yeah, it was. Never mind. It wasn't Joni. It was Harlan that sent it to me. What was I thinking? Let's send it to Joni then, because let's freak Joni out then.
Yeah, not watching it.
All right, we sent it to Joni. Now we got. We reached 10 o'clock yet? Anybody got anything left in the last
1 minute?
Are we required to go over 2 minutes since we were late?
No.
Okay.
What kind of snakes are on beaches? I guess it depends on the beach.
It must have been a lake. It must have been a lake. It tells you in the thing. Baseball said yes. He's the official timekeeper of the Bearded Picker channel. But my challenge to you, I'll give you a challenge in the last minute or so, is to understand that Cassini is being toyed with, and they are trying to make it. They're trying to make it reach an outcome that is. I think they have good intentions behind it. I don't want to think that they have evil intentions. They want more sales, and they want search to be more effective, and they want search to find items that people buy more frequently. I get all that. And so the one thing we've learned, go back and watch Josh's show from Monday, is we have learned that what the things that they value. They value a complete listing. They value effective keywords. They value good pictures. All the stuff that you should do, your listings are being ranked. And so the more information and the more complete you can make a listing, the better off you are. So the one thing I do when I'm listing, I think most people do it, is if I'm going to list these again, because they're on the desk, because they got to go out today. I would search for these legs, extra value, not extra wide. Imagine that. I don't have the big girl size. And I would find the listing that sold for the most. And that's generally the one I use, because generally if you sell similar on an item that is sold is an effective way, because it's been found in search somehow. And so I think that is one of the reasons why I've had some up and down in sales, and right now I guess I'm in one of those downs. I haven't had sales in like 12 hours, but it more effective listings. And even if you're doing a sell similar, if you've got more information, go in and fill out the specifics. Go in and add a few things to it. The other thing they found out is you could restart your store or whatever, and that used to be effective for re-indexing yourself, and so you would seem to um, get more sales, and it would seem to restart your listings. They are using AI to combat that now. So if you're going to redo your listings, you need to change pictures. You need to change something about the listing. If not, it's just going to be recognized as the same listing, and it'll keep the same rank. What new scanner for Amazon?
Yeah, that was my question too. I saw that.
I noticed that the icon. I noticed that the icon changed. But on this iPhone, I don't know how much more effective. I need something that's easier than just a white. It's and that's the other reason that I'm leaning towards. So last night I was not about upgrading, and I remember how bad this camera is in Amazon, and that might be the reason I upgrade. Who knows? So Robert says he thinks eBay sends out reminders to buyer on the listing when sell similar on sold listings. Oh, it was a tapeworm. Trouser snake. Whatever. It's Land Sharks. Craig, quit changing your name. What the hell, dude? Could you only be one person in the chat?
I want to know what Maces stands for. Anyway, we had an electronics shop in town here called Mesa Electronics. So when I saw that the first time, I thought, Mesa Electronics has been out of business for 20 years, and then I realized it was Craig.
Steve, which not you, Steve, but Steve Thurston brother. Which iPhone do you have? Do you have the 14, or which one do you have? My 14 scans horrible. I don't know if I got a bad phone, or I've heard other people say that in the Amazon app, no other app. That's why when you said new scan, I'm like, I scan with Scout IQ because mine is so terrible.
Got it, Craig.
RG Clearance says the 14 Pro scans horrible. Mine's awful.
Makes sense. I've never had problems with my my 12.
It's just the 14. I can carry the XS Max with me, and it scans beautiful.
My very first username, Craig, was a similar thing. It was an acronym, not an acronym, thing like that. Same thing.
Amy, I never had any issues with I've got an S21. Never had any issues with it. It's the older. I don't know if these fancy cameras. Who knows? All right, I guess you'll have to tune in next week to see if I upgraded my phone or not. I'll let you. I got to decide by now and Friday. The main reason I would do it is to the new cameras. Maybe that app works better. Who knows? Somebody has to be the guinea pig, right?
I think you should be the guinea pig.
All right, so I'll make a video on context search. Let me write that down. Context search. And marker.
I really think that context search video, if you do it appropriately, will do well for you.
All right. Steve said he's going to get the 15 and cross his finger. That's probably how does one make a video? I don't know, Craig. You quit.
We'll do a tutorial on how to make a video.
Steve, is that your cat doing that? Tell your cat to quit barking.
That is my cat.
All right, everyone, roll tide. Maybe we'll roll this week because we looked like crap last week. See you next week.
Water out.
Bye.